Hmm. Hi, everyone. This is Bina Kavalam. I'm on the conference call, and I'm also here live to talk to you about the GTG High Value Woman Impact course, and we're talking about session 1. I'm actually going to turn off this because it's a little bit loud, and I'll dial back in a sec. And today we're going to be talking about, as people start to join on, we're gonna talk about the Get to Guy workshop. Oop, sorry about that. So I'm just going to let it run. I'm here at in my childhood bedroom that's been painted a couple of times. So I'm here in New Jersey, New York area. I'm going to be here for some seminars in the next couple of weeks. So I thought I'd do this Google Hangout as part of the study group for the workshop. So if you can hear me, please let me know. There's a chat function right next door. You should be able to see it. Let me see if I can see the chat. There should be a chat, group chat. So say hello if you are on. And so you can see that I just placed a chat there. And I'm going to also, in a few minutes, when we start to get people on, I'm going to share my, I put together a little quick presentation to help us walk through the material. So I would love to start with introductions, and we don't have anyone on yet, it looks like, but I'll wait a couple of minutes until I can see that we have a few other extra folks. So definitely let me know in the chat if you're here. Just type in, say hello, let me know if you're there, or if you want to get the video on there, please do that too. That would be great. So I'm going to just wait around until I get some extra viewers, and then I'll start. So we'll start probably in a couple of minutes. So if you're around, just start typing in. Okay, thanks. I'm also going to get onto the conference call to make sure that if anybody else who wanted to join us on the conference call who couldn't use Google Hangouts can actually join us. So I'm waiting for that, and I'm excited that there's going to be an upcoming GTG with Matt Hussey in New York. It's one of the reasons why I'm back in town, so I'm excited to see all of you there. And I know that we've got Cece and a whole bunch of other folks who are going to be meeting up on Friday and Saturday, and I can't wait to see all of you guys. So the video that we're going to start, I see we've got one viewer. So please do type in the chat and let me know who you are. Okay, I can't wait to see it. I don't think it's showing the video, so I'm going to get started very soon. But I want to make sure that I say hello. So please do. Let me also see if I can get the screen share going in a sec. I'm going to test that out. What's that? Hi, is there anyone on the call? Hi, Karen, it's Bina. How are you? Good. Okay, I'm also on the YouTube, on the Google Hangout thing. So if you're on there, you can see the presentation I put together. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Well, yeah, no problem. I'm just still waiting for folks to join. So I think there's one other person who joined. No, that was just me. So I'm gonna present in a second. Let me see here. So once we get one more person, I think one person's going to join, or two people are going to join, and then we'll get started. Okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, great. So we've got.
Thanks for doing this, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. We've got. So I think I'm screen sharing. I'm just trying to figure out the technology here. So hopefully, let me see if this is working.
So how many people are going to be on this one, on this call?
I think we're supposed to get 6 to 7 people, but it doesn't look like anybody's joining me yet. So hopefully they will. But if not, it's just you and me at least. And we've got one other viewer. I just don't know who it is. So hopefully it's one of our folks. So hopefully it's somebody we know.
It looked like a bunch of people were.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jeb and I don't know about Mindy. I don't know what happened with her.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get this recorded.
She wanted to do it when I saw her last weekend. We went for brunch.
Oh, okay.
Where are you in Denver?
No, I'm in New York right now. I'm actually in New Jersey. Yeah, I flew in for some business, and so I know we're gonna get a big snowstorm, so my meetings are probably canceled, but that's okay. I'm here. Oh, okay. So somebody just commented saying that they're not sure if this is somebody. It's a public event, so somebody just got on and said that this is a they may not be involved in this. But anyway, at least we're here, and I'm gonna get started because then we'll catch up after. I want to make sure if people are gonna watch the video, they get something out of it. So, oh hi, did anybody else join?
Hello.
Hi, who is it?
This is Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Hello.
It's Karen and Bina.
Was anybody? Okay. Was anybody able to get on the Google Hangout?
I'm on there. I'm on there right now. But no, there's only one other viewer with me, so I'm not sure. If you're watching this Google.
I will say, because I didn't see anything when I clicked the link. It gave me like a blank screen. Oh, I see somebody typing.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if I need to do anything to join the meeting. I don't see or hear anyone. Oh, that's Tanya.
Tanya. Okay, that's really weird because it looks like I'm presenting. Hold on, let me just see. I don't know why I'm presenting right now. You are screen sharing and presenting to everyone. You guys don't see my screen?
All I see at the top, it looks like an orange band with like little cameras and little word boxes. We're on iPads though. Does that matter?
I don't know. Maybe. That's really interesting because I'm presenting. I'm going live. The broadcast is going. It looks like I got 2 viewers. Say hello if you're on.
There you go. I also just opened in Safari as opposed to there. And so she repeated her question again. I don't even know how you start typing her.
Huh.
Respond.
She says, I don't hear anybody. Okay, so I'm going to try and, like, you guys don't hear me at all? That's really weird. I've used this before, and it's never worked like this. And that page that I sent you doesn't work?
Is it something we have to be doing on our side?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you guys should just be able to view it on that page, the link.
Yeah, because I've never used this before, so it's brand new to me.
Okay, no problem. Well, we're on this. I'm going to go through the deck, and I'll send it out to everybody. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe it's because I'm here and I'm using my laptop, but it's always worked before. So I'm gonna just start, and then what we'll do is we'll get this going, and then I've got a couple. We'll have the conversation going, and then I'll send the deck out too if anybody wants it.
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe we should just tell everybody to do the conference call.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me just do that. If you are on.
The other Google Hangout is not working.
Yeah, it's too bad because I got the presentation up and everything. Okay, if you're on the Google Hangout and not seeing the deck, join us on the conference call line info in Facebook post. So do you guys actually see any of my comments?
No, I only see Tanya's keep coming back up.
Huh. That's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on here. Let me see if I can get in. And then we'll just get started because you guys can see my head here. That's not good. Okay, 1 second. Let's see here. Okay, well, let me just get started. So did everybody watch the video?
Yep, I did.
What did you think?
Who wants to go first?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can go first. Well, this is Karen, and I kind of didn't understand about the standards. When you said living up to your standards, when it was when he listed all when he listed humor, charisma, passion, confidence, all that, and he said to live up to your standards. I kind of didn't understand what he meant by living up to them.
You know what I thought he meant with the I'm sorry. What I thought he meant. Hi, did somebody just join?
Yes, it's Kenya.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I was trying to use the Google thing, and I don't know why it's not working.
You know what? I don't either. I have a presentation going up on there. Hi, did somebody else just join?
Yes. Dina, this is Janet.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. And I can see you on my screen. There's no chat, so I couldn't tell you that I was on.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. I have a presentation, so I will play the presentation, but I don't know what's going on. So, and I'll send out the presentation deck. It's just some slides just to, facilitate conversation. But since we're having technical difficulties, I'm not sure if we'll just use the conference call instead. Okay. So we were just talking about some confusion the first video, and it sounds like there's some confusion around the standards. Like what is considered, what did you guys think of the standards component?
Well, for me, I like the standards, but my whole thing is I don't know what my standard is. Like I'm having trouble trying to identify who I want to be. I also had that. Well, I guess the important thing to keep in mind is that you don't want to be only one person. You want to take sort of the best features out of everyone and try and make those your standards of how you want to be. I think that's what I understand it. Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you?
Karen, how are you? Fine, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. Sorry for the confusion. We're not. I guess we're not using the Google Hangouts because it's not working. But we are.
No, I can see it online. I can see Venus, lovely face.
Hi.
So it's streaming online, but it won't allow me to join the chat.
Oh, that's really weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well then we'll use this conference call, and then I'll show the deck for those who can see it on the YouTube channel, on the Google thing. Okay? So let me open up. We're just talking, getting started. Let's actually just get started. Can anyone see my deck that I'm presenting right now?
Hang on, I'm getting.
Let me just go back. Come on. I don't know. Oh, it's a little delayed. I see.
It's delayed, yes.
Okay. Well, we'll just try it. Hold on a second. I'm working off a laptop and off my parents' Wi-Fi, so it's a little bit less.
Okay.
It's like a little get.
Technology challenge.
Yeah, it's
very new thing for me.
It's like trying to figure this out here. Okay, so you know what? If it's not working, I'll send the deck out to you guys, and we'll just get started. Okay, so how tonight? I was hoping it would we're just going to go through who was on the call tonight with all of us, and then I have some questions that we'll review from the impact session #1, the video #1. So if you haven't watched it, that's totally fine. You can get something out of today, but it probably is better if you've watched the first session, so that we can we can talk, we can chat, we can have more of a group discussion about that. So that's
awesome.
Great. And so so why don't we first start off by talking about what is impact? How do we define impact? I can
like to go first.
Yeah, I can start. I can start with me, if that's the case. For me, I think being an impact is really being yourself. It's really being truly and honest, like being the best version of you. And that's kind of where I saw that. It's like, being able to be confident and be that passionate, powerful person and powerful woman that can conquer all. That I know that I am on the inside, but sometimes I don't show to the world. And so for me, that was kind of this really big aha, was that I can make that happen if I decide to. Because later on he talks about that, right? He talks about how you can, if you have 3 things that are positive in your day, you can manufacture 3 positive things to happen so you have a good day. Well, we can do the same thing with impact, and I think that was for me a big eye opener. How about you guys?
Wow. For me, it was really how others perceive me when I walk into a room, what I'm projecting, intentionally or unintentionally, and whether what I say or I'm presenting, even in social situations, how is it coming across? Is it coming across that I'm sincere and it's something that I believe in and I'm passionate about? Or am I coming across as being a featherweight or flaky? I agree a lot with that. I think it's also about coming across in a positive way, because sometimes you are thinking in a positive way and it doesn't come out that way. So it's actually projecting what your inner feelings really are, what your insides are, and coming across in a positive way. Yeah, I had a similar thing, like being a positive influence in terms of just being a role model, but at the same time still being true to yourself. So it goes with living the best version of yourself. But of course, we all want to be remembered, we want to be memorable, but we want to influence others in positive fashion as well while remaining true to yourself. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a lot of being yourself, but being the best version of you, and then also there's a confidence component too. So what keeps us back? So what keeps us back from being that person all the time?
Fear. Self-doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also the bottom line, lack of confidence.
Yeah. Like that somebody said.
I'm reading sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say there's almost this lack of, like, sometimes lack of confidence, that vulnerability. I think somebody mentioned I think there's a lot of that too. I feel sometimes that for me, I feel like sometimes I can't always be on. Sometimes I've just got to be me. But I sometimes question, is being me being not this amazing, awesome person, or is it being, or is being me like being kind of like, like not the amazing person that I know I could be, right? So for me, it's like that. It's this balance. Like it also takes a lot of energy to be that person and be on. I don't know about you, but for me, that's like that's also something too, because it's not my natural tendency to be, this like uber confident. I guess it's something I have to work at. And
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for all of us, what we're presenting,
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're walking into a new situation or walking into the same situation or an old situation, and you want to change the dynamic.
Yeah.
What you want to present, right?
Yeah. It's like especially if you want to change it, it's like there's this resistance that's already there because it's what you know in the past.
This is how they view you in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go in with a different attitude? Are they going to be resistant? And how do you almost battle through that?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not only resistance.
Without being inauthentic.
Yeah.
That's it. I was going to say exactly that. You still have to be authentic. So it's it's how you react to the situation that may be negative to spin it around.
Yeah.
So one of the things I mentioned when I asked online who were people's role models, I have a friend who, because I have said fear is what holds me back. And so I have a friend who does what she wants and doesn't pay much attention to how other people feel about her, what people are going to think. And that's the part that I admire from her, because that's what holds me back. Either I put on a mask to be able to get through certain situations and not show my true self because I have to be hard or I have to be a certain way. And I feel like it's not my real self. So because of the fear of how either I'll be perceived or how I'll be treated or if I won't be accepted. And I want to add something to that. I'm a little bit like your friend, but sometimes I feel like my assertiveness comes across in the wrong way. Yeah, so she does too. Like she always says, I'm the bitch. But exactly. So I feel like I'm usually the one who says what's on their mind in work and situations like that. And sometimes I say, why do I open my mouth and put myself out there and always look like I'm the annoying person? So I need to figure out a way how to do it in an assertive way, but in a positive way and not in a negative way.
You know, a lot of what I'm hearing, it's funny, a lot of what I'm hearing and it's a lot of what you're saying here is echoing completely with me. But so what I call the inner mean girl. It's this this saboteur that we all have in our side. It's like that negative, that negative psychology that we have going through our head and of course, the imposter syndrome. Yeah, it's going to find out that I'm so incompetent. Yeah, or I'm not 100% perfect, and I mean, I know that's shocking, but I mean, it's like people. My jaw just dropped. Yeah, of course, right. You're not gonna, and there's this language that we say to ourselves, and it's and I really think there is this dichotomy that we have. There is something in our brains. It's literally called the sage and the saboteur, and I call that saboteur the inner mean girl. And I've felt it my entire life, and I feel like it's this dialogue that we say to ourselves, like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a bitch if I'm aggressive, and I have that's something that comes across with me because I'm a Jersey girl, born and bred, right? So for me, it's like and so for me, I think I was gonna say that's interesting because I'm kind of the opposite, where I'm known as the nice girl, right? Which I hate. So it's like if you need anything to be done, ask Chev. She won't mind doing it, or she won't, give you a hard time with that. And in the family as well, it's like, oh, you need something, just ask her. She'll say yes. Yeah. See, that's but doormat. Yes. I'm the one who doesn't want to rock the boat or make waves. So yeah, I really don't want to do it, but yeah, I feel guilty, so I'll go ahead and do it for you. But see, that's we need a little bit of both in the mix. Of course. Yeah. But there's also this thing about standing up. I would like to channel some of that inner bitch. So I like that. Sometimes we need to, though. I mean, if I did a 180 at work, people would be like, "Excuse me, Chev, what's wrong with you? Are you having a bad day? Are you PMSing? Is that what?" So that could be one of your standards. Yes. Oh, I like that you brought that in. That's huge. That is true. It's like, how do you want people to treat you? That's the other thing. It's like, how do we have to react in a way, or we have to act in a way that will have people treat us the way we want to be treated. And it's like what we give out to the world and what we get in return. And so, when he talks about what would we want somebody to talk about behind our back, how when he mentioned that in the session today, I thought about it, and I first thought about, well, what do they say now? And the first thing I was thinking of was, for me, like there were some positive things that came up. I said passionate, powerhouse, and then I started to move in toward the negative, like the talkative, the curvy, chubby, aggressive type wording. And I thought about it, and I said, but that's the dialogue that I have in my head. That's what I'm thinking people think. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like that's if I'm going in with that's how people perceive me, then isn't it like reality because I'm making it happen? Then I'm acting in such a way that is making those people,
Reaffirm
to reaffirm that. Like, people will then perceive me as, this passionate powerhouse, but also who's like, insecure about her body and aggressive, right? So then then I'm enacting that, right? So for me, it was kind of like I took another step and I said, okay, well, what do I remember how he said, well, what do you want to be in your life today? And for me, it's like, what do I want them to think about me? And a lot of it came out was like, I said, it was totally opposite. It was like this passionate powerhouse, but who's bubbly and fun and great smile, sexy, confident. And then it, like, just by like writing those words out, I felt better about me. You know what I mean? Because, like,
let me ask you a question, because I'm hearing a lot of how I felt also.
mm-hmm.
When you were writing down those things, did you think that you really are some of those things that you want people to see you as, or?
I've been told, there are days when I'm at my best that I do feel like a powerhouse. I do feel this passionate, and I do feel like I'm on fire. And I've been told that I'm a powerhouse before. I mean, like when people ask, when you ask people to describe you in one word, that's the word that comes up the most for me. And
Okay.
but sometimes I don't feel that way. Sometimes I feel like, I'm invisible. Sometimes I feel like I'm, just forgettable. And, and so, like, but that's the negative side of it, right? If I go in and I have my head up and I've got my shoulders back, I've what I call the speaker stance. And, it's a lot of what Matt talks about. When I feel like that, I feel like I'm on fire and I feel like I'm alive. There's nothing that can stop me. But that's not all the time, right? It's like, I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like, you can have this amazing, like, feel great and feel alive and feel sexy and amazing, but do we feel like that all the time? And what are we doing to help us get there so that we do feel like that more of the time? Yeah.
What are we doing to help us continue to strengthen these attributes or these qualities of ourselves? And, that we all have in, certain amounts, but we want to highlight them or increase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or increase them. So, I might have a moment in the day where I feel confident, but is that my natural stance? Probably not. So what can I do to increase my confidence in going in to a presentation or a meeting where in the back of my mind they're thinking I'm just fluff or a lightweight?
Mm-hmm. There's this thing I do, and it's something I teach, and it really works. But it's just about it's something that you can do, and it's free. And I'd love to share it with you guys because I think it'll help. I call it the speaker stance. And it's literally, you go into the ladies' room. It's something I learned from a mix of like a couple of the gurus that I work with, Matt being one of them, but I also learned it from Tony Robbins and from Brendan Burchard, who's an entrepreneur's Tony Robbins, essentially. But what it is you go in, when you go into the ladies' room, right before your big presentation and you're about to go in, and you sometimes feel like nervous or, just not as confident before you go into your presentation. What I do is I always go into the presentation and I into the ladies' room right beforehand, and I like make eyes with myself in the mirror. Like, I look at my eyes in the mirror, and then I immediately roll my shoulders back 3 times, and then I hold it back. So I'm rolling the shoulders back 3 times, like right now, and then you're holding them back so your entire rib cage is open and up. And yeah, and so then you're holding them back. And Matt actually talks about this where it's called an open body stance, and you're standing. So you're standing up. If you want to do it with me, I'm doing it now. You're standing up. Your shoulders are back. Your feet are planted shoulder width apart, and then your shoulders are back, rolled back 3 times, and that also alleviates some of the pressure and tension in your shoulders. And you tilt your chin slightly up, because when we're not feeling confident, we tend to look down. So this is about you want to look up a little bit. And what's going to happen is that your shoulders and your rib cage will lift up, and that's going to allow you to breathe. So you just, Sorry.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Somebody's talking. So I was like, so you're gonna keep breathing, and what you're gonna do?
Sorry about that.
No problem. So you're gonna keep breathing, and then you breathe by filling up. Imagine you have a balloon in your stomach, and you fill that up with air. Because what happens is a lot of us breathe with our a shallow breath with our chest, and we lift up our chest to breathe. And as a former singer, the best way to breathe is to breathe with your gut. So you fill up your stomach, like literally imagine you have this balloon in your gut, and you're expanding that. So you suck in air, and you fill up your stomach with air. What's happening is you're just replenishing, and you're giving your body a lot of oxygen before you go out into this presentation. So all of these steps, like the physical shoulders back, the bigger, it's called diaphragmatic breathing, which is the breathing with your gut, and just simply lifting your chin up. All of these things will actually release in say 5 to 10 minutes, chemicals that will make you feel more confident are released in the body. It's actually proven. I'm not a woo-woo kind of person. This is actually biochemically proven. And you'll feel more confident. And so what's going to happen is that when you go out there, if you just stand like this, you know how he talks about the posture? It literally will do something in your body so that you feel stronger. You'll have more confidence. And so that you can really kill it in your presentation. So it's, I do this whole big thing when I teach it, but I mean, just to give you guys the highlights, it's really just rolling your shoulders back, breathing with your gut, and lifting and tilting up your chin, just so your chin is up a little bit. And what that does is that really ignites, like, you'll try it and connect with the eyes in the mirror. So when you're looking at yourself feeling confident, like you're going to be standing and you're going to look more confident when you're looking in the mirror. And then what you're going to do is just make eye contact with yourself in the mirror right before you go on, and smile big, smile an authentic smile, not a fake smile. It's important. It has to be real. You have to see those laugh lines. Okay. And so don't give the smile. Okay. I want a real one. And
I'm a queen of that.
Yeah, right. It's got to be the real smile so you can see it, because then literally all of these things are building on. It's like you're imprinting on your mind that confident woman. And when you look at yourself in the mirror and you do that, it's clicking into place right before you go on. And so right before I do any of my speeches, I do the same thing. I go to the ladies' room, I connect, I do the breathing a little bit. Hopefully, sometimes I'm in a stall, sometimes I'm not. So sometimes people think I'm a little nuts, but it's okay, because I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and it really does click. And then I chant one thing for myself. Like for me, when I'm on stage, it's called give. I say one mantra to myself, like give. And then that just calms me down and I go out on the stage. But it could be anything. It could be like sexy, passionate woman. It could be whatever you want to be and do and feel. And just connecting all of that together helps so much. Ever since I started doing it, it really has helped me like come alive on stage. And so anyway, so I'm just saying, hopefully that helps you guys, because I think that's something that I've enacted now. And so every time I need to feel that confidence, even if I'm just on the phone with somebody, I do that, and it changes everything.
I think that sounds amazing. I think posture in general makes you feel more confident. Just even the posture of standing up straight. So with this, what you were talking about, this is Benzina, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think what you're saying, Dina, is just like enhancing it, because you're actually stretching and breathing, and I think that definitely makes you feel better in general. So
yeah, and it's
better, you feel more confident.
Exactly, and it helps you relax a bit, because the worst thing that for me is when my nerves take over. And I lose sight of I lose sight of what I'm going to present. I lose sight of I get too focused on me. And what this does is it relaxes you so that you just focus on giving to others, or you focus on what you're going to talk about. It's less about getting in your head.
Right. Because you can get stuck in your head.
Yeah. So what about, sorry, I didn't want to cut anybody else. Did anybody else have anything else to say?
Did anybody have any challenges finding who they would like to model from, or different aspects of individuals? Yes, I did. I felt like a lot when I was watching the module. A lot of
the role models were men, role models, but they were picking like a famous people, and I found it difficult to think of somebody like an actress or a famous person to role model after. My role models were people that I knew, like somebody that I work with, one of my sisters, and for different reasons of things that I would like to have, but I couldn't think of anybody, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just thought it was interesting that the role models that they picked were all male. And there any female ones.
Yeah, not that during the example there weren't any females, but it's okay that you don't have any that are stars or people out there.
Yeah.
Instead of people you know, because actually, but sometimes it's easier to see those qualities in those people because you are so close to them. That you don't necessarily see from a star because that's their persona or maybe that's their character they're playing. And that's fine because they even said it could be a character in a book and how they acted or someone they played. Like I think someone said like Tomb Raider or
yes.
Yeah, Laura Croft. Right. So when you look at that, it's like that's a character she plays. That's not actually the lead, but it's the strength that perhaps you want to emulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought when I did this exercise the first time a couple of months ago, because I only did the first module, I haven't done any of them, so it was a good kind of refresher. I had like 2 or 3 of like famous politicians or Oprah or somebody like that kind of thing in terms of, their warmth and enthusiasm and compassion, because that's kind of where I'm going in terms of, what I'd like my role models. And then I was thinking about the people, around me in work, and I ended up picking 2 or 3 people that I actually don't like.
Oh.
But,
as an anti-models?
I actually don't like personality-wise, but their ability to, confidently going into a particular situation and talk about something knowledgeable, in a knowledgeable way, even though half the time I know for a fact they haven't done it. But the way they present that information or the way they're viewed because they present it in such a way. So I actually had 2 or 3 people that I really didn't like. I was surprised about that, but yeah, but I was like, I really admire how confident she is when she goes into those meetings and says something, or another. I think it was a intern, and just how certain she was, and I think the certainty was really attractive to me.
I like that you're picking people like that, like certain qualities of individuals, and saying, I might not like everything.
I thought that was easier for me than finding all in one person, because quite frankly, there's not a lot in one person. Similar to kind of when during the retreat he talked about Kanye West, the fact that you have to admire how confident and certain he is, even though you may not agree with 90% of what he actually says.
Right, that's what he was saying also in the module with Tom Cruise.
Right.
So you did exactly what he was telling you to do, to try to pick a trait of somebody, not necessarily the whole person, but
yeah. So when I did that, I ended up with like 15, 16 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I really liked. That's great. For me, it made me nervous actually when he started talking about role models and he went through all these stars, and I kept thinking, okay, who's mine? Okay, who's mine? I don't got anybody. And I actually started to panic a little. Yeah, and that's why I posted it online, because I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, maybe there's other people who are feeling this way, because until I was finished that module, and even like half hour later, I'm still like, who's mine? And so finally, when I thought it through, I'm like, well, yeah, there are certain characteristics I admire in different trends and stuff, and so that was what I put up. But it's one of those panic moments, and I remember when I was at the retreat, and Suzanne, or Suze, she went by, one of the trainers, she is the same thing like what Matt said. Sometimes you get so caught up in the details that you feel like A, you're failing, or B, you can't do this because you can't come up with that example. And that's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I can't even get a role model. And then I realized I was like overreacting.
I actually thought exactly the same way until he started talking about what you want people to see you as.
Yeah.
And to write down those traits. And then when I wrote down the traits, then I thought of people who have those traits.
Oh, that's a great way. Yeah.
Role models. So before that, I felt the same way. I was like, I don't have a role model. And I was actually watching it with somebody that I'm dating, and he was
really?
Yeah, and he was listening to it, and he rattled off 5 role models in 1 second of who he would want to be like, and I sat there and I was like, I can't think of one, and then it felt worse. I was like, how come he thought of them and I couldn't? And it was just like very weird. And then later on, I listened to it again, and then that when I started writing down the traits of what I wanted to have or what I wanted people to see me as, then I thought of people.
I think that's great.
I
think that's a really great idea to come up with role models.
Yeah.
Write down the characteristics of what you want people to think of you as, and then using those characteristics, find your role model. I love that idea.
That was the only way I was able to do it.
I love that idea too. I think it's because then you're defining, not everybody's going to have all of those characteristics. So you're picking and choosing about the best from everyone. And then you're emulating the best of everyone, you know? I think that's great. That's a little bit of what I did with my, I started doing vision boards. I don't know if you guys know what that is. That's like, where you take pictures and you kind of envision what you want for your life. And so I started doing that about 2 to 3 years ago. And it really, like, I literally have them hanging up in my bedroom at home. And
I always wanted to do that.
Oh my gosh, there's so much.
Have I. I've always thought about doing it, but the idea I think it was too real for me.
Really? Oh, it's
the idea of, this is what I'm really, in terms of the goal, how clarifying that goal to that extent.
It's
so,
like,
but I think that's the bold warrior me.
Yeah, it's the thing is though, you have to get clear on what you want.
Warrior needs to be pimp slapped.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
Right? Does it work?
It does. I think it does for me. I know that with when I first started out, I did this. With my coaching, I did this thing called this guided visualization, and it's like this visualization of what I want for my future, and that's where it all started. And so it was this. I saw so much of what I want for my future, and it surprised me. And so I took some of those elements that I saw in this visualization, and I started looking for them, those elements in the magazines and things like that. And I saw a lot of like I want to be something like Michelle Obama in sense of, not only is she, stylish and she's like, happy and she's bright and she's a mom to 2 kids and she's, she's a lot of those elements. But I said there were some things I don't want of her, right? So I took what I wanted from of her. And then I said, I want to be funny like Mindy Kaling, and I want to be a superstar like Indra Nooyi, and these were all like brown women, which is something that, I don't, when you talk about not, they were all men examples. I wanted people that looked like me, because for me, that was a big obstacle. Yeah. Like I wanted people to see like they've made it and they look like me, then why can't I do it? Right. I didn't want to have any excuses.
Exactly. That's another thing that I was struggling with, that, confident and, not sweet and cute, because, you always get the cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't take, people seriously when they're cute.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be sexy, you want to be confident, you want to be, you want to look or appear accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then when you look for that, it's like, where are those types of role models that are sexy and confident and funny and stylish and, intellectual and all of that?
Yeah, and there are. We just have to look for them. And that's the thing is like, it's not going to be in Us Weekly. Okay. You're not going to find those, like the brilliant, amazing woman in Us Weekly. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, I started looking elsewhere. Like one of them was, if you, in the video, you'll see it later. I put, I created a slide with some of the women that inspire me. And one of them is, Angela Merkel, who is the Chancellor of Germany. Right. I thought how amazing she was. Something that she did when you know, Germany was in the World Cup. It was all about like how she was leading this very male dominated area, but she was taking the charge and she was succeeding. And so I thought that was so amazing. Right. And then Amal Clooney is somebody who I think, you know, just from a style perspective. And then my mom, I put somebody in there too. I think, you know, like a lot of those elements that I put in there. And I thought about it and I said, you know, like, I don't want to be exactly like everybody because I still want to be me, but I want to take some of these elements and incorporate it. And then I think, Karen, to your question earlier about does the vision board work? It does, because you know what's happening is that we tend to forget our goals, right? Unless they're in front of us. And so I did this thing earlier in this year. I think I sent it out to you guys. I'm not sure if you guys got it or not, but it was this. It was like this like 15 boxes of what you fill out, and then you know, for your New Year's resolutions.
In terms of your goals, the different areas of your goals.
Right. The 15 boxes, right? Well, I filled it out and then I put it on my board, like near all my visioning stuff, right? And I've already, I mean, one of them was to read 15 books this year. And I'm not a big reader. I'm just always so busy. I'm more a visual person, but I've already read 4 books this year, and it's only the first month. And I would never have read that, you know what I mean? I would never have done it, but it was in my face, and it was, my goals were straight ahead of me. So I do think it works. It's just, you've got to, you know, you've got to take the time to like figure out what you want and then put it ahead of you.
Think of what your visions are.
Yeah. Like what your visioning is and what you want. And yeah, I mean, it really does. I don't know. I think it really helps, because then you know what you want front and center, and then it's and it also, you see it every day, and then you're just like, as you walk by it, it's ingrained in your mind. And and Darla just wrote, she says, I just do a video. I do it on Pinterest. She's saying she does her vision boards on Pinterest.
That's a great idea, Pinterest.
Yeah.
You can do a vision board on Pinterest. Yeah.
I have a vision board on Pinterest, but I don't, it's not public. It's something I privately do, but it's, it does work. So think about that. That could be a nice, really good, you know, like mine's called like the confident, dynamic powerhouse woman. And like something like that, think about like all these elements of what you would want. And that's kind of what the vision board is about. And it's also like, I also put like the love relationships that I want to have, like the, you know, like who's my dream guy and what I want from that. Like that's also on the vision board.
Wow.
So,
okay. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. And
I'm definitely gonna try it.
Yeah, when I get back to New Jersey, when I get back to Denver, I can take a picture of it and show you guys, because I think,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, and just remind me if I forget, okay? But it's like, because I'm going back in like 2 weeks, but yeah, like it's I have 2 of them. I have one that I did originally and I just kept it, and then I have another one that I've kind of updated, and it shows like travel. Okay. It shows my entire life. It actually showed my business too. Yeah. So like think about like, and you don't have to do it one time only. Like what I started doing was, a friend of mine said, let's do a vision boarding workshop together. And so she had all these magazines there, but you know, you don't have to have it like, you know, 100 magazines and then just sort through them. You can just piecemeal it over time. And if you see a picture you like, just put it in a box and then have a day where you paste it all together.
That makes perfect sense.
You know? So, and if you guys want, I know that, I know we're getting kind of late on time here, but if you guys want, I have a free, you know, the visualization I talked about that triggered all of this. Mm-hmm. It's a downloadable audio file. So if you want it, it's on my website. You can get it. It's free. You just download it. Okay. And then you can listen to it. Yeah. It's just go to coachbina.com. It's you will have to sign up for something, but it's like, you'll get my emails and stuff, but you can always, if you don't like it, you can just unsubscribe. Okay. But once you get it, you download it, and then you will just take about like an hour to like listen to it and then take some notes. and give yourself the time to do it, because that'll help. And then it'll trigger everything else. It'll trigger you to do the other stuff, because then you'll see it, and you'll have the pictures. Then you'll find pictures that will represent what you saw in the vision.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, please go ahead. And so I know we've got some folks who actually joined us now on the vision. Okay, so Darla wrote, that's a good idea to have a guy vision on your vision board as well.
Yeah, I would never think of doing that. It would be just a general stick figure guy with why not?
Well, it wasn't even, for me, it was also about, like, I put like moments, like the relationship moments. Like one was, that's on there is like, it's like, you know who Benjamin Bratt is? I don't know if you know who that is, but
oh yeah,
he and his wife of like X years or whatever. They're like just laughing together, and they've got kids in the background, and they're just laughing. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that like relationship type thing. And that's the picture I have. Another picture I have is like of this like dad holding two kids, and they're all like pulling at him. And I thought, like, that's something that I want too. So I mean, like, those aren't like typical, but it's like it's the feeling that I want. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, so I know we're getting kind of tight on time here, but I wanted to ask, what's your 1% shift for this week? Like, remember how Matt talks about the 1% shift, and he talks about how these little changes can make an impact over time. So what's that one thing that you guys want to get accomplished this week that's going to move you closer to your end goal?
Patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, so sorry, I'm going to be asking a little bit more. What does that mean? What does that look like for you?
Everybody remembers me from the retreat, from when he called me on stage, and I said that I was everything had to be perfect and in its place, and he told me that I was anal.
I do remember that. I'm sorry to say.
I am, and I'm like that at work. So I think that when things don't go according to plan, I get impatient and I get nervous about it. So that would be my little shift to be a little bit more patient, so that I would be maybe easier to be around.
And so how do you expect to do that? Are you going to count to 100 before you react? Like, do you have some plans in mind of how to be more patient? It's one thing to say, it's another thing to do something about it.
It is. It's not, well, first is to be aware of it.
Okay. And actually, that's a huge piece.
That is key. Yeah, exactly.
And I guess to not worry so much about the time that, like I have a lot of things to do, and it's in a short amount of time. So when things don't go perfectly, and then, somebody comes over to me at work when I'm in the middle of doing something, and then I'm like, they come to me with a problem, and then I'm like, I just want to get through it and finish one thing before the next thing comes. So just to maybe take a deep breath, and maybe I'll do the stance and roll my shoulder.
Yeah.
Go into the bathroom, and maybe I'll do that.
The breathing is definitely going to help. That's a great idea. Just roll your shoulders back and try the deep breathing. That'll help. And one other thing that helps me is whenever I try to make a new habit is sometimes you also have to break the old habit of being impatient, right? Because we always go, that's our go-to, right? So there's in the book The Power of Habit. If you guys want a book to read, it's a really good one. It's a big yellow book. You can't miss it. And it's called The Power of Habit, and I forgot the guy's name. But he talks about how one way you can do it is if you're a list taker, if you write to-do lists and things like that, it's have like a little note card, or in your iPhone. What I do is I use a little notepad function in my iPhone, and have a check, have an X and a plus, or a check and a minus. Okay, and 2 columns. And every time you catch yourself, like if you're being impatient and you catch yourself, and then you do the breathing, or you do the shoulders back exercise, what I call the speaker stance, give yourself a check or a plus. But every time you notice it, and then you just keep doing the old ways, give yourself a minus. And the whole idea behind that is to stop yourself or catch yourself in the act, so that you don't go, you don't, like, it's to catch yourself in the act, so you actually have to write it down, and then you'll see over time that you're gradually going to get less minuses and more checks and more pluses.
I like that.
And so
I like that.
and what I did was I added on top of that, and I gave myself every 10 that I got, like, or that are pluses, I gave myself a little reward, like a makeup, or like a little tube of lipstick, or some some nail polish. I have to reward myself. And so
Oh yeah, I like that.
yeah,
I
and
like that a lot.
and it gives me an incentive to, to catch myself and change it in the act, right? So so think about that. That could be something. And
Oh, that's good.
good.
That's awesome.
Cool. Anybody else have any
Anybody
1%
else?
shift?
Mine would be probably making myself a priority.
How so?
So, scheduling me going to the gym, or doing, when Matthew had talked about, making those, rituals in the sense of, whether it's, if you want to meet more people, you have to go out once a week or something like that. So, I've been trying to, but, I can come up with every excuse in the book. So it's to, definitely, schedule twice this week to go to the gym and actually work out, as opposed to go to the gym and, or drive by the gym.
I like that.
Right?
Wouldn't that be great?
Go to the gym, it's like, you know what, it's too cold. Let me just, I can do this tomorrow kind of thing, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, the turnoff was there. At least I haven't gone to the parking lot, which would be really bad. But, I've driven by it, and I'm like, nah. So, make sure I put it in my phone, put it in my schedule, okay, no matter what, even if, clients need something, my boss needs something, my student needs something, I need to go before I, come home and deal with whatever I have to come home to deal with.
Yeah.
So that, twice this week to go to the gym, and then figure out one activity to go out and meet people and talk to people who are not in my workplace. Because if I had my way, I'd probably stay at my workplace all day and all night.
Really?
I'm just comfortable there.
Ah, that's the reason, the comfort. Okay, so how will we know that you have actually either gone to the gym or met more people? Like, let's get some substantial goal there. So go to the gym twice,
right,
and meet how many new people?
I have it in my schedule on Monday that I will go to the gym. And I have promised my friend that I will text them if I don't go to the gym.
Okay.
So I have to be accountable.
Okay,
She's
so
going to check up on me. If I don't go to the gym, she's going to have to talk me back into going to the gym.
okay, so I think that's awesome. That's great. So you already have an accountability in the works already. That's perfect.
Yeah.
What about the meeting people? Darla just wrote. She wrote a really good comment here about reminding us to remember to smile first. So maybe that's something there. Maybe you smile first at like 5 people this week. What do you think?
Because you don't necessarily need to jump in. I think that's a great 1% shift.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I think that's a great idea, but it's not smiling at people that's my issue. It's physically going out to meet people, because I would rather be in my comfort zone, which is either my workplace or home. So I have to stop off somewhere, either for dinner, some sort of activity before I come home.
Okay.
Or Thursday.
Okay.
So that's my goal.
Okay, so you've got
Tuesday or Wednesday night, I will be doing some sort of activity after work.
Nice. I love it. That's a huge thing for this week. That'll be great. That's huge.
Yes, and then I will be, recovering the entire weekend that I cannot believe went out.
And then you've got the entire, long weekend to recover from that one night out.
Exactly. I'm taking Friday and Monday off.
Yeah, exactly. Take the full day off. It's all good. That's right. It's awesome.
What happened? I went out and I talked to people I didn't know.
It was that stressful.
I know.
No, but that's
the doctor and everything.
You get a doctor's note with that. You know that. So you know what? You actually need to meet a doctor. That's perfect. That he can write you the note. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Is there anyone else? Is there anybody else who has okay, meet people at the gym? Darla's saying, she's like, that's another opportunities. Meet people at the gym. So
I'm hot, sweaty, and ugly. I don't really want to meet people at the gym.
it's funny though, because I'm in the same boat. When I met people at the gym, I just strike up a conversation, and it's weird because I get in the zone when I'm working out that I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anybody messing with me. I just want to get in, get out. And so like when I was lifting weights recently, I was like lifting, like I just started weight training, and I was lifting these weights and I was concentrating so hard, and I grunted a little bit. I know it's disgusting, but I did. And the guy next to me, he looked over and he goes, he said something like, yeah, good lift or something. And I was like, I looked at him, I'm like sweating, okay? And I look at him like, thanks. He's like, good lift. And I'm like, thanks, I guess. So I did have a conversation, but I don't know what was, how substantial it was. But my point is that
the
it's
last time that happened, I was doing one particular machine, and then there's these two guys chatting, and I think one of the trainers had been walking by with just introducing them to the gym and giving them a bit of a tour, and then he was the person who signed me up, so I was just chatting a little bit, and I said, actually, do you mind? Because I'm kind of working out here. I really don't appreciate the audience, and I chased both of them forward.
Oh, you should have said, hey, come on, join me.
No. Excuse me, I really don't appreciate the audience. If you all don't mind, you can continue on with your tour.
Oh my goodness.
Now you know that if this happened to you tomorrow, you have a different response.
Yes, exactly. We're to change that mindset, right?
That's the old you.
Yes.
That's the old me, but the old me is the one who's at the gym. People. No, because you know what? I think it was one of my friends who said it. I think it may even been Tanya. I said, you never know who that person knows. He could know who's going to be your new group of friends or your new significant other. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily jump in bed with this guy. You just need to be polite and friendly, and you never know what that can lead to. I was polite and friendly. I just didn't want him to interact with me while I'm sweating and grunting. So, yeah, well, that's the old me, and the new me will smile in the midst of when I have that hot, sweaty glow.
Good. Always smile. Smile first.
At your worst, they can see you at your best.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, for me, this week, my 1% shift is going to be, like really just because for me, health is a big issue this year, and I'm trying to get as healthy as possible. But I always have that negative thought that says, oh, it has to be 100% perfect. That if it's, if I go off a little bit, it's like, screw it, forget the whole day, go and get cupcakes, whatever. Let's just let the day go over, So I think for me, it's about letting go of that perfectionist mentality and just let it be. Like if I slip, go right back on. There's no excuse to totally lose it.
Write off the whole day.
Yeah, stop writing off the whole day. I love that. It's because it's not about writing off the whole day. It's about really it's about being true to who I am and being honest and a person of integrity to myself. And if I mess up, I messed up, but you know what? Just get right back on and stop having that negative talk keep going. So for me, in terms of like something substantial for today, it's like really, just trying to stay on track with the health-wise, like eating more of a vegetarian diet and things like that. But also exercising at least 3 times this week. That's huge for me. So, at least 3 times getting out there, especially since I'm traveling, just doing it at least 3 times is going to be big.
Oh,
yeah. So
that's great. So how are you? I love that you're going to give yourself a break and you're going to be kind to yourself. Because that's basically what it is. That inner voice will completely sabotage. Like, what's the point? You can't do this. Life's fully been tire cake. But so that I think is great. Because you are at your parents' house this next 2 weeks. How are you going to incorporate exercise because of that.
Well, it's funny. Okay,
You know?
since I've been home, it snowed twice. And it's gonna snow again tomorrow. So I'm gonna shovel. I'm gonna shovel snow.
I love it.
I'm gonna shovel snow for the next like 2 days. Yes, exactly.
So
Ooh,
that's actually a good way how to meet people.
yeah, you're right. It is, and so I'm gonna
People are always friendly. And,
yeah. So I'm gonna
like,
shovel snow.
it's like a different, in New York anyway, it's a whole different thing. People all of a sudden, you know, have something in common and they all start talking to each other. And it's not like,
you know, you can talk about the best technique about snow shoveling. You heard this is good. What basic
Lift with your back, your knees. What do I do? So I'm gonna try that. It was funny because I was traveling, and because of the snowstorm, I was traveling. I had to get from JFK to New Jersey by public transportation, and so I was carrying this huge bag. It was like 50-pound bag, and it was huge. And because I'm going to be here for 3 weeks, and so I was like, oh man, you know, I'm carrying it. And there was this one point where I had to carry it up these stairs, and I was struggling. And so this nice guy, out of nowhere, like random stranger in New York, Port Authority, he like lifted. He's like, no. He just like lifted it up the stairs. Yeah, I was like, you know what? You can steal it. If you can take it, you can steal it at this point. Because I was like at the last end, I was like, I'm so done. And so he lifted it up, and he's like, yeah, I'll help you. Don't worry. And then he lifted it up and got me up the stairs. He's like, yeah, I saw you kind of struggling with this bag, trying to get up the other stairs. And I said, and he was such a sweetheart. So I was like, thank you. So
oh, that's darling.
Yeah. It just reminded me that people are just nice in general. Like, you know, like there is some favorable part of humanity too. So, but anyway, so that's part of it.
Well,
and then
I love that when, you know, in this first module, you know, how Matt talks about leading with the state as opposed to reacting to the state that someone else is in. So it's kind of what you were doing in the sense of, okay, you know, you could have been like, no, you know, back off. I've been traveling all day. I got delayed, you know, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah, I could have been that way, but I don't know. I was just, I don't know. You're right. It was my reaction to it.
His state, because then he'll turn around the next time he sees a woman struggle, he'll still continue to help her. Had she like given him shit for it, he probably would have been like, right, before trying to help anybody else next time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. Hey, does anybody see Darla's comment? Because I'm struggling to see it here, and I'm not. I know she just commented, and it came up, but it's not. Does anybody see that on the screen?
No, I'm not by it anymore. I'm not by it.
Oh man, hold on. Let me just check my notes. I don't want her to miss because I know she's trying to contribute here, and I'm sorry about this, Darla. If you can listen here, for some reason it's not coming up on my screen, and I don't know why. I saw you post something, but it's just not opening up. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna, Darla, let me just see if I can do it on my phone really quick so I can see. I don't want to let her go and not have had comments here.
Oh yeah.
So let me just see if it came through. Okay. Sorry, it's almost there. Almost there. Just taking a long time. Okay, so she says, good to hear all our 1% shifts and our creative ways to make it work. We can do great things. Take care until next time. Thanks, Darla. If she's on there, she's such a sweetheart.
We love her.
Yeah.
Love
She's like, you all are so funny. Be open to meet anyone. I'm just gonna read some of her things. So, because she was in here, it's just like she's like, meet people at the gym. She's like, Matthew said to smile first. Don't wait to get that first reaction first from people by leading with your own standard of energy. She said, yes, that's a good idea to do a guy vision board for the relationship you want to have. So she had a lot of great comments. And so thank you, Darla.
Wow.
Sorry we couldn't connect on. We'll have to do more on the iPhone. I don't know what went wrong with the technology this week. Some people saw it, some people didn't. So we'll just have to figure it out for next time. But I think, is there anybody else who wanted to say something, or is there anybody still on the call that didn't get to speak about their 1% shift?
No.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad that you know, I'm hopefully we have some type of, you know, for people who couldn't make it live, I'm hopeful that we have something that we can share with them from the video. But yeah, let's do. I can't wait to do this for week 2. I don't know who's gonna. I mean, if any of you guys want to volunteer, I'm sure we could. I don't mind using up my conference line if it's on a Sunday. So we can, you know, if somebody wants to lead it up or do that, and I'll we'll post on the Facebook group, and I'll send out the notes that I have. But this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this because I miss you guys. I'm all out in Denver, and I don't get to see you guys as much. So.
I know. Anybody from New York, have an amazing time if you're going to Saturday.
Yes, I can't wait to see everybody.
Is that speaking? It's that chef that's speaking. You know, why don't you go to New York again and come? Darlene, he's coming to Toronto in March.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is he? Yeah, so we're going to see him then.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, we are. So. Yeah, that's the only problem.
We'll clear up by the weekend to drive next time, so. We will. We're definitely going to do that.
Awesome.
Let us know when there's a reunion. Give us enough notice, and you know, I have a better idea of how to get there. We can get there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to try and plan one for July when I'm back in town. So I'm going to be, I'm going to try and plan for something for July when I get back in town. That'll be a bigger one because it'll be, I'm also moving back. So that's going to be another big, yeah. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll have to do like a big party type thing. It'll be fun. So I'll stay tuned. Okay.
To go to Toronto for a weekend.
Yeah, that'd be fun too.
Something like that.
We'll go to the ice wineries.
But it has to be warmer. Yeah. Nobody's going to come to Toronto in this cold.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We don't have the snow. No, in the summer. We do have the cold. In the summer.
But we'll come.
In the summer, at least in the spring.
Yeah, we'll come and we'll travel the ice wineries. You guys have like amazing ice wine places. We're gonna go check that out.
We'll do a whole tour thing. Yeah, we'll do a weekend.
That would be fabulous. I think that's a game. We got to do that. Make that happen because that's awesome.
I think we do.
All right, ladies, it's been lovely.
Okay, it's been amazing. Talk to you guys soon.
Talk.
Take care. Have fun. Whoever's going to the seminar next week, I'll see you then.
See you there, guys. And if you want to text me when you get there, just so we can connect, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. All right, have a great week, ladies.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, so we had the session. I'm done with the phone, off the conference line. Thank you guys so much for joining. Sorry for the technology issues, but I'll be sending all the information out to you guys, posting it on Facebook. Thanks again, guys. Bye.